There is something about a man who has discovered his center. He enters a room, and even if he does not speak a single word, the room starts to react. It is not reacting to his title, not reacting to his physical appearance, and not even reacting to his spoken language, but reacting to something unseen that surrounds him. That unseen thing is his aura, and it is either the strongest asset he carries in life or the biggest weakness he ignores. Your aura is like a living statement of who you are, not who you claim to be, but who you truly are in reality. And when that aura becomes strong, when it is developed, when it is cleaned and shaped through discipline, inner belief, and clear vision, it becomes so powerful that many people cannot easily handle it. But you should not take that as something to fear. Instead, you should take it as something that pushes you forward. Because the strength of your aura is not something to be afraid of. It is something to refine and improve. And it is not something to hide just to make others comfortable. It is something to master so you can fulfill your purpose in life. You need to understand this clearly. People may appreciate your words. They may respect your work. They may even admire your skills and abilities. But in the end, what stays with them is your energy. What remains in their memory is your presence after you have left the place. And building that kind of presence is not something that happens by chance. It is intentional. It is created with effort and consistency. You shape your aura through private actions that most people will never see. You build it in moments when you feel like quitting, but still choose to continue. You build it when someone criticizes you, but you respond with calmness and control. You build it in quiet hours of learning, in lonely moments of discipline, and in difficult situations where your purpose is tested. A man's aura is simply the reflection of his character. And character is not formed in public attention. It is formed in private behavior. Every single day, you are sending out signals. Every interaction, every decision, every silence, every movement of yours is communicating something to the world. And you must ask yourself this question honestly. What am I sending out? Am I sending insecurity or confidence? Am I sending fear or trust? Am I sending doubt or certainty? Because whatever energy you are sending out is exactly what you are going to attract back. You cannot fake your frequency. You cannot pretend your way into being real. You might say the correct words, wear expensive clothes, and achieve impressive results. But if your internal energy is not aligned, people will sense it. And even more importantly, you will feel it yourself. The strongest aura is not the loudest one. It is the most aligned one. It is not noisy. It is steady. It is not arrogant. It is grounded. It is rooted in purpose, rooted in truth, and rooted in self-control. Many people never reach this level of presence because they spend too much time trying to perform for others instead of improving themselves in private. They become addicted to approval from outside and lose connection with approval from within. But the moment you become a man who does not depend on validation to move forward, something changes. When you can walk in silence with confidence, when you can smile without needing attention, that is when your aura begins to grow stronger. That is when people start noticing something about you that they cannot clearly explain, but they also cannot ignore. You do not need to be loud to be powerful. You only need to be clear. Clear about your identity, clear about your values, clear about what you will accept and what you will reject in your life. Clear about your direction and purpose. This clarity removes confusion, and confused people always feel uncomfortable around those who are certain. That is why when your aura becomes stronger, some people may misunderstand you. They may call you arrogant, distant, or even cold. But you should not allow their opinions to change your direction. You are not becoming too much. You are simply refusing to remain too little. Your aura is not designed to be easily accepted by everyone. It is not meant to please the average thinking of everyone around you. It is not created to make everyone feel comfortable. In fact, as your aura becomes more refined, it will create discomfort in people who are not ready to face themselves. But that is not your responsibility. That is their chance to grow. You are not here to shrink yourself. You are here to shine. But shining does not mean pretending to be something you are not. It means actually becoming it. It means aligning your actions with your values. It means behaving the same way in private as you do in public. It means respecting your own word, even when no one is watching. It means saying no when saying yes would be easier. It means keeping promises to yourself that no one will clap for or notice. That kind of consistency creates a strong field around you. It builds a kind of inner stability that cannot be copied, cannot be bought, and cannot be faked. And that stability is what makes your aura magnetic. You may have heard that energy never lies. And it is also true that alignment never lies either. When you are aligned with your purpose, your energy becomes clear and strong. You do not need to announce yourself loudly. You do not need to explain yourself to everyone. You simply enter, and people feel a shift in the atmosphere because your presence speaks before your voice does. Your aura is not just who you are. It is proof of who you have decided to become. Most people do not realize that presence is something earned. It is earned through turning pain into strength. It is earned through turning failure into lessons. It is earned through turning delay into development. Your presence grows every time you stay committed during difficult moments. Every time you choose long-term vision over short-term approval. Every time you stay calm while others lose control. When enough of these moments build up in your life, you stop trying to impress people. You just exist in your natural state. You become stable. You become grounded. You become calm and strong at the same time. And that calm strength cannot be copied because it was built through pressure. It was shaped through struggle. It was formed in real experience. That is why it feels rare. That is why it feels unshakable. That is why it feels real. You should never apologize for that kind of presence. You should not apologize when others do not understand you. You should not apologize when your silence makes others uncomfortable. You should not apologize when your standards expose the laziness of others. You are not here to manage how comfortable people feel around you. You are here to show what alignment looks like in real life. You are here to demonstrate that true power is not in showing off, but in being fully present and grounded. And if you stay consistent on this path, if you continue improving your mind, protecting your energy, and controlling your actions with discipline, something important will happen. Your aura will begin to work for you instead of against you. It will start speaking for you before you speak. It will start bringing the right people into your life. It will start opening the right doors and situations for you. Not because you are forcing it, but because your frequency is rising. Not because you are chasing, but because you are aligned. This is what it means to live fully in your presence. It means showing up without trying to prove anything and still having something meaningful to offer. It means carrying a silence that teaches others. It means having a peace that influences the space around you. It means being so connected to your purpose that outside pressure cannot easily disturb you. When you become this kind of man, you will stop asking how to attract what you want, because it will naturally start moving toward you. Why? Because your aura always leads. It leads before your speech. It leads before your actions. It leads before your skills, your status, or your timing. It is the full expression of your inner state, your discipline, your honesty, your clarity, and your consistency. And when all of that is in place, life begins to respond differently. People feel you before they understand you. They sense your confidence before they know your story. They experience your presence before they hear your explanation. That is why it is always true that what you carry inside matters more than what you display outside. Your aura is simply the reflection of your inner world, and the world always reacts to that reflection. And if your mind is split, your energy will feel scattered and unclear. When your priorities are not aligned, your presence becomes less strong and unstable. But when your mind is sharp and your inner self is clean, your aura becomes something people cannot ignore. This is why real personal strength always starts with private cleansing. You cannot guide or lead outside if you have not learned to control yourself inside. You cannot demand respect if you do not first show respect to your own self. You cannot expect others to trust you if you are still unsure about your own value and constantly questioning your worth. This is the reason aura, true, steady, powerful aura, requires complete honesty and deep self-reflection without excuses. It takes courage to look at yourself fully and remove anything from your life that does not match the direction you are growing into. Because aura is not about trying to impress others. It is about showing real alignment. It is about naturally reflecting the person you have been building in silence, away from attention. It is not about acting for others. It is about arriving fully, consistently, and genuinely, without pretending and without apology, because you have done the inner work. You have faced your own lies. You have confronted your fears. You have accepted the cost of growth, and now you carry presence. People may not always appreciate it. Many will not fully understand it. But even those who oppose you will feel respect for it, because real energy cannot be faked or denied. And what creates this kind of presence? It is built from strong standards, standards that do not change depending on who is watching, standards that remain firm when you are exhausted, when you are tempted, and when life is testing you. These are standards rooted in principle, not in popularity or approval. It is also built from emotional discipline. The ability to stay calm during conflict, steady during pressure, and clear during confusion. Not because you suppress what you feel, but because you have trained yourself to manage it instead of being controlled by it. It is built from confidence, but not loud confidence. Not the type that constantly seeks attention or validation. Not the type that fears silence or needs to dominate every discussion. It is the quiet type. The kind of confidence that comes from truly knowing yourself, from knowing your direction, understanding your purpose, and being aware of what you bring into any space. Most importantly, it is built from vision, because without vision, your aura has no direction at all. Without vision, your energy has no focus point. Without vision, you will waste yourself trying to impress people who are not even connected to your purpose. But when vision guides you, everything becomes intentional. Every decision has meaning. Every environment you enter becomes a choice, not an accident. Every word you speak carries weight and purpose. And that purpose is what people actually sense. It is what separates you from the average person. The average person enters a room hoping to be accepted and approved. But the person who lives with purpose enters ready to contribute, ready to improve the space, ready to lead without needing attention, not because he is chasing validation, but because he is aligned with what he is meant to do. Understand this deeply. You are not for everyone, and that is not a weakness, it is your strength. You are not meant to fit into every environment, every relationship, every group, or every conversation. You are not designed to be easily understood by average thinking. You're not supposed to be liked by everyone you meet. Because when your aura is rooted in real purpose, it naturally challenges people who are still living in fear, confusion, or limitation. And when that happens, you are faced with a choice. You either shrink yourself to make others comfortable, or you continue standing in your full truth. You either conform to fit in, or you keep moving forward in your growth. You either lower your standards, or you hold firmly to what you have built within yourself. If you truly want to carry uncommon energy, you must become comfortable with being misunderstood. You must release the need to explain your growth to people who are not committed to growing. You must accept that your development will disturb those who have never experienced real inner discipline. And when that moment comes, you do not hesitate. You do not step back. You remain steady in your state of being. Because your aura is not only for you, it affects others around you. It is also for those who are watching silently and learning from your example. It shows people what it looks like to rise. You become a living example of how to improve standards, how to refine thinking, and how to elevate behavior. And if you hide that light, you deny the world something that only you can express. So how do you protect this energy? You protect it with discipline. Discipline in what you say. Discipline in how you manage your time. Discipline over your emotional reactions. And discipline in your thoughts. You cannot think like everyone else and expect to lead them. You cannot speak like everyone else and expect to influence them. You must become so intentional that every habit, every connection, and every conversation reflects the identity you are building. You also protect it through solitude, time away from constant noise, opinions, and outside influence. Solitude is where you sharpen yourself. It is where you realign with your values. It is where you remember that what you need is already inside you. It is where your energy becomes clear again, without distortion. You protect it through boundaries, not as a form of punishment, but as a form of protection. Because not every request deserves your attention. Not every opportunity is connected to your purpose. Not every open door is meant for your path. A person with strong aura does not follow every invitation. He follows alignment instead. And above everything, you protect it through purpose. When you are focused on something bigger than yourself, you stop wasting energy on meaningless distractions. You stop reacting to everything. You stop explaining yourself unnecessarily. You stop being pulled into things that do not matter. Instead, you rise above them. And every time you rise above, your presence becomes stronger. It becomes less about trying to impress people and more about creating real impact. Because people do not truly follow noise. They follow clarity. They follow consistency. They follow alignment between words and actions. They follow someone whose life reflects truth, whose behavior matches his values, and whose silence still carries strength. That is what you are becoming. You are not here to blend into the background. You are not here to copy others. You are not here to perform for attention. You are here to embody real power, quiet power, stable power, purpose-driven power. So live like it, think like it, speak like it, carry yourself like it. And the right people will naturally move toward you. The right opportunities will align with you. The right doors will open at the right time. The right results will begin to appear without forced effort. Not because you are chasing them, but because of who you have become internally. This is the real secret of aura. It is never created through force or struggle alone. It is created through transformation. And when you truly become the person you are meant to be, your energy will begin to speak for you even before you speak. It will guide situations before you enter them. It will protect you when you are silent. It will attract what is meant for you without you needing to chase it. Because at that point, your aura is no longer just energy. It becomes alignment with destiny itself. And destiny always responds to alignment, never to confusion. There will come a moment, if it has not already come, when you realize something very important. The way people respond to you has very little to do with your appearance, your achievements, or even your words. It has almost everything to do with the energy you carry, the presence you hold, and the inner state you have built within yourself. You will begin to notice that respect enters the room with you, not because you asked for it, but because you have become it. You will feel that people turn toward you, not out of fear, not out of show, but because something inside you quietly says, here is a man who understands who he is. And that understanding, that belief, that inner base, is the core of your aura. It is the unseen structure of power that surrounds you, and it cannot be passed down. It cannot be purchased. It has to be created. You build it through your choices, not once, but every single day. You build it by showing up when it is not easy, by staying quiet when speaking is tempting, by forgiving when fighting would be simpler, by keeping your standard when nobody else understands why it matters. Each of these decisions adds another layer to your character, and character is the true meaning of presence. The world is full of men who speak, but the world is changed by men who carry. Men who carry calm when the space is full of tension. Men who carry vision when others cannot see ahead. Men who carry light when everything around feels heavy. This is what your aura is built for, not to decorate your image, but to deliver your truth. Not to impress people, but to inspire them. Not to act, but to send out a real signal of wholeness. People will forget your words. They will forget your actions, but they will never forget how you made them feel. And when your aura is real, when it is formed through discipline and truth, it leaves a mark on every person it touches. But you must understand this warning. The stronger your presence becomes, the more your absence will be noticed. The more people will want your energy, even when they do not understand why. And if you are not careful, you will start giving your energy to people and places that were never meant to hold it. You will begin to drain yourself trying to fix those who refuse to grow. You will feel tired, not because your purpose is too heavy, but because your boundaries are too weak. So listen carefully. You must protect your presence, not with ego, not with pride, but with sacred discipline. You must become unavailable to anything that damages your clarity, to anyone who cannot respect your peace, to every habit, every distraction, every compromise that weakens your strength. Because when your aura becomes clean, it will naturally attract what it is meant for and push away what it was never meant to carry. In that clarity, you will stop chasing, you will stop explaining, you will stop trying to force yourself to be seen. You will simply radiate. You will move through life knowing you are tuned to a frequency that few people understand, but many people need. And remember this, your aura is not made for popularity. It is made for purpose. And purpose is not always comfortable. Sometimes it isolates you. Sometimes it makes others uncomfortable. Sometimes it removes relationships, chances, and approval. But it will never remove your soul. And that is the real measure of a successful man. Not the noise he makes, but the peace he keeps. Not the fame he collects, but the impact he leaves. Not the image he shows, but the man he becomes when no one is watching. You do not become this man by chance. You become him through devotion. Devotion to unseen work. Devotion to your highest self. Devotion to principles that do not break under pressure. Devotion to a mission that is bigger than comfort. This devotion becomes your advantage. It is what makes you different. And men who are different do not live on common levels. They do not waste attention on gossip. They do not spend time on meaningless things. They do not argue with those who only want to misunderstand. They know who they are. They know where they are going. And they know the road to legacy is walked in quiet strength. You are not a man of reaction. You are a man of rhythm. You are not a man of chaos. You are a man of control. You are not a man of noise. You are a man of awareness. And this awareness, this calm, this clarity becomes your real strength. Not to fight others, but to master yourself. Because the biggest win you will ever have is not over other men, but over your own mind. When you can walk into a space full of conflict and remain steady, you are powerful. When you can stay silent in the face of insult, you are in control. When you choose solitude over approval, you are leading yourself. When you serve without needing attention, you are living with purpose. This is the man you are becoming, a man whose aura speaks for him, a man who leads not only with plans, but with presence, a man who does not need to prove anything because his life already expresses it. And understand this also. When you carry this energy fully, the right people will come toward you. You will not have to chase them. They will recognize you, not by your words, not by your titles, but by the peace they feel around you, by the calm your presence creates, by the sense of safety your energy gives. This is the reward of quiet discipline. This is the result of doing what most people avoid. This is the life of a steady, unshakable man. And legacy is not something you leave behind. It is something you live every day. You carry it in how you walk, in how you speak, in how you stay silent, in your standards, in your ability to remain steady while others lose control. Because when your aura is built with integrity, life begins to adjust around you. You no longer bend easily under pressure. You no longer break when resistance comes. You simply stand. And in standing, you become visible. And in becoming visible, you become a guide. You do not lead through control. You lead through presence. You do not change the world through force. You change it through energy, through who you are. This is something most people never learn, but you must understand it clearly. You do not need to become more. You need to become clear, clear in your values, clear in your direction, clear in your voice, clear in your energy, because clarity itself is power. And when your aura carries that clarity, you become very hard to stop. So carry your truth, carry your discipline, carry your peace, carry your light, and understand that those who cannot handle it were never meant to stay close to it. But those who can, they will rise because of it. Because your aura, when it is pure, when it is strong, when it is protected, becomes a reflection that helps others find their own strength. And that is your real impact. Be that reflection, be that presence, be that energy, and let your life speak in a way your voice never could. Because the world is not only listening to what you say, it is responding to what you carry. And what you carry is powerful enough to be felt, even in silence.